Alright, you guys, I'm back in my van. I just finished meeting with James Estes and a nice man named Luke with Tom Tillis' office. They would not allow me to record inside, so I didn't do that. But I did give them all the photos. If you sent photos, they were printed off, and I made sure that they have your photo, and they know that everybody in that packet has a pre-existing condition. I did emphasize the problems with the AHCA and how they will negatively impact those of us who have pre-existing conditions and any person who develops a pre-existing condition. I did explain that the biggest problem is the lack of the community rating standard, that the biggest problem is allowing insurers to base premiums on health, that does not properly protect people like me and people like my 3-year-old, that we need better than that, and we expect better than that. So, they do seem to comprehend that. They did tell me that whatever the Senate passes is not going to be the same thing as what the House passed, that they do intend to amend it. So hopefully we can push really hard for them to amend the Meadows-MacArthur amendment completely out of the AHCA, because that's what we need. So if you call your senators, you need to tell them that they need to get rid of the Meadows-MacArthur amendment in its entirety and demand that they keep the community rating standards that protect people with pre-existing conditions from being charged insurance premiums based on their health. That will make your insurance unaffordable. And if they try to tell you that they've set aside enough money in the Upton-Long Amendment to allow for a high-risk pool of insurers to be given money by the state to help allay the cost of insurance, that's not true. The money that they've set aside is not even enough money to help one state. It's not even enough money to help California on its own. So it's certainly not enough to help every state, and it's not going to be enough to help you. So make sure that you say that that is not an acceptable protection, because they can't guarantee that what the states are going to do, and there's absolutely no federal review of the money that they give the states to ensure that that money is going to the insured who have pre-existing conditions to help allay the cost of their health care. So again, make sure that you call your senators, and you need to tell them that they need to get rid of the Meadows-MacArthur amendment in its entirety, and they need to protect the community ratings standards from the ACA. That's the most important part of this legislation, and that's what needs to be protected. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican should not matter. This is what needs to be protected for people with pre-existing conditions, okay? You can also, if you don't like calling your senators, you can text RESIST to 50409, and then it will walk you through the steps to send a text message that will be faxed to your representatives, directly to your representatives. So you text 50409, walk through the steps. It takes like 5 minutes, and all you have to say is, we want you to keep the community rating standards that guarantee that people with pre-existing conditions will not ever be charged premiums based on their health, regardless of circumstance. That's all you have to say. It's not that hard. Watch this video again and write it out as I say it. Do this because you could get a pre-existing condition. I will say Tom Tillis' staff was very nice, but they admitted that they are not community health policymakers. They don't know much about health care, and they admitted I probably know more about health care than they do. And I probably know more about health care than a lot of people do, because I have to. I don't have the option of not knowing. Ignorance could kill me, so I have to know how our health care system works. I have to know how our insurance works. I have to know how these laws impact us. So I've read them all. And they even admitted that a lot of the people in the House had not read the entire bill. And they also said that they understood why that was really frustrating for somebody like me who this bill so strongly impacts. Freya's in the back seat singing, if you can hear her. Because yes, I did bring her with me. I want them to see her face. I want them to know this is who you're impacting. She's 3 years old. She has juvenile arthritis. If she ever loses insurance coverage at all for any reason, then her premium will be unaffordable and she won't have access to care. That's not acceptable. This is something they need to do. Whether you agree with the ACA or you don't agree with the ACA, that doesn't matter, because what matters is that they need to continue to provide protection for people like me and like my child, because we don't deserve to die so that you can save money. That's the bottom line. We don't deserve to die so that you can save money on your insurance. That's putting a cost on our life, and that's not ethically okay. Should you be able to save money on your insurance? Sure. I hope they can work out a way for you to save money on your insurance. But that should not come at the cost of my life or somebody else's life or my child's mobility. That should not come at the cost of my grandfather not being able to have the Medicaid that he needs to be in the nursing home when he has dementia and is too far gone for us to be able to take quality care of him at home anymore. It should not come at the cost of my cousin who needs a kidney. It should not come at the cost of our lives. It should not come at the cost of women who are pregnant and insurers are going to be able to charge them $17,000 a year as an annual premium for being pregnant if they ever lose coverage. That's not okay. That's not acceptable. You should not be okay with that. So we need to keep these community rating standards in place so that that can't happen. That's what we need to do. So again, text 50409. And when I get home, I will be putting the numbers, all of the numbers that I've got from Tom Tillis' office that are in my purse now because I asked and I have lots of cards. So I'm going to list every single person's name and every single telephone number that I have and every email address that I have so that if you want to get in contact with these people, you can do it too. So now I've spoken to McHenry on the phone. I have gone to Tom Tillis' office. I have spoken to his regional director for this area. And I am pushing for a meeting with Richard Burr. I am not going anywhere. I am not dropping this. I am fighting for myself and for my child and for every person in this country who is sick or who will become sick, because that is important. Your lives matter. My life matters. It is not okay to kill people to save some money. It is not okay to kill people so that insurance companies can make even more profits. The insurers are going on and on about how the ACA has cost them profits. Well, that's really funny because if you look at what their profit margins were last year, they were in the millions and billions. Millions and billions. So these insurance companies are making millions and billions off of us. All of us. Every person who's insured. Millions and billions of dollars a year in profit. And they're saying that's not enough. And they have lobbyists that we can't afford pushing our representatives who are supposed to represent us and not the insurance companies, pushing them to pass laws like this that will allow them to literally profit off of the death of people. It will allow them to literally profit off of illness, even more so than they already do. And that should not be okay with you. And that should not be okay with the Republicans. It should not be okay with the Democrats. It should not be okay with anybody. And right now it's okay with both parties to a certain extent, because neither of them is doing what they need to do to make sure that these insurance companies are not the ones with the power. The people need the power. We need to take the power away from the insurance company and put it back with the people. They should be working for us. We are paying them for a service. They need to be working for us. They don't need to be profiting off of our illness, and they don't need to be profiting off of our deaths. That's not okay. And when you're making millions and billions of dollars and you say, that's not enough, I want these lawmakers to push through laws like this that are going to kill people because I want more money, that should bother you. That should bother you. Especially when the people they want to make the money off of are my 3-year-old child. My friend Julie's 4-year-old little girl. These are the people they're making their money off of. That's not okay. That's greed. That is greed. And I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your moral standards are. If you have a heart in your body, you should not place an insurance company's profits over a human life. Not ever. Not ever. That is not acceptable. And you need to call. You need to call. It will take you 5 minutes. You could be saving a life. That's quite literally the truth. You could be saving lives by pushing your senators just as hard as those insurance companies' lobbyists are pushing them. We need to push harder. We need to push harder. We have to push harder than the insurance company's lobbyists in order for people not to die. So you can take 5 minutes out of your day and you can call them and say, I expect my senator to protect the community rating standards. I expect them to get rid of the Meadows-MacArthur Amendment, and I expect them to make sure that people with pre-existing conditions will never pay premiums based on those conditions, regardless of circumstance. Or you can text 50409 and follow the directions. Thank you for listening to me. I will continue to fight for myself and for my child and for every person out there who needs me to fight for them, because this cannot be allowed to continue. It just can't. So we're just going to keep on doing this over and over again. Take 5 minutes, call, or text 50409. Let them know, I demand that you protect the community rating standards. I demand that people with pre-existing conditions will never ever be charged premiums based on their health, regardless of circumstance and regardless of continuous coverage. Just do that. You could literally be saving a life, and it won't take you long at all, because we have to push them. The insurance companies have people they are paying a lot of money to push them. We have to push harder. It's on us now. We have to push harder. Our politicians and our political system is corrupt right now. It is. It's corrupt, and we need to fight that. And it's not one party or the other. It's just corrupt. And we have a moral obligation for people like my child and people like me. And all of the kids who have juvenile arthritis, all the kids who have autism, all the kids who have juvenile diabetes, our elderly, all the people who are my age who live with invisible illness. We have an obligation to those people to fight back. We have an obligation to take a few minutes of our day to fight back. So do take your time to do this. I've taken my time to drive all the way to Charlotte to meet with Tom Tillis. I've taken my time to speak for an hour on the phone with Patrick McHenry. I've taken my time to continue to push Burr to meet with me. I'm not going anywhere and I'm not stopping, so all I'm asking for you to do is take your 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. It won't take you long. Thanks, and I hope that you'll watch this. I hope you share it. It needs to be heard. People need to see this. They need to understand that there's a human face here. We are not just our conditions. We are not statistics. We are not numbers on a freaking page. We are human lives. We are human lives. And you cannot say you are pro-life and pretend that you care about human lives if you don't care about mine and my child's. It's not how it works. So again, thanks for watching. Please share this around. Make sure people see it. Make sure that people understand that this is where we're coming from. I'm not some ignorant ass who's just spouting nonsense. This is what it is. This is what this bill does. And we need to fight it. So thanks. Bye.